Hi, everyone. There was a question in the community about exiting for loops, and there is this action called, and I'm going to just share my screen. It's continue or exit workflow, and there were some questions on how exactly it works, and so I just wanted to test this out. I have a very, very kind of stupid example. Basically, I'm going to run this, show you the output, and then we'll work backwards from that. So here what I have is I have a multi drop-down list. I was just playing around with this. Let's say I select Twitter, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky. And what I want to do is, let's say I get somebody's Twitter handle, then I just want to exit the loop. I don't want to go, process or get information from LinkedIn and Blue Sky, for example. Let's say that's my example. So in this case, somebody selected Twitter, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky. So what should happen is I'll go into my for loop, and then I'll be like, oh, is it Twitter? And if it is, then I just exit the for loop. Now there are, issues with the implementation of this, the order and all that stuff, but don't get too stuck on the actual example. I was just playing around with this list, so I tried to figure this out. But here, what should happen is when it goes through this list, it should go through the for loop, and then output should just give Twitter handle. And so if you look at what's happening in the dev console, you know. So I get the user output, the output is formatted, I'm putting it into the list, the for loop goes through the first thing, this is where it's printing it out. The check condition is what is running. So what happens is agent AI is taking my if condition that I have in that uh, exit loop action, and it converts it into an instruction that's passed to the LLM, where it basically says, based on the prompt logic below, you will either choose to continue or exit, blah, blah, blah. And so the prompt I'm sending is if Twitter handle is equal to Twitter handle, exit, else continue. And so if you now go back and look at the code here, so everything till here, I get the drop down list, I format it, I'm in the loop here, I'm printing it out. This is what I added there. It's if loop variable is Twitter, exit, else continue, end if. So you're basically putting in your kind of if condition in this particular action. And depending on what you enter, it'll either go through or not. So in that particular example, because I chose Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube, it kind of came once and then just exited. So if we were to run this again, and this time just to kind of show you how it works, if I were to not select Twitter, then the way it should work is it should, let's say, show both LinkedIn and YouTube as the output. So let's run this. And then what you'll see in the output, all I'm doing is I'm just kind of doing a print line and I'm just printing whatever was passed. So I should see two outputs here, while the previous one we just had one. So let's see how this works. It goes through Twitter and you see LinkedIn and YouTube were the ones I selected, and those two got printed. While in the previous one, even though I selected three, you'll see it only returned Twitter. Hopefully, this is helpful and you kind of understand a little bit about how to put the logic for that condition to exit.